It is empowering, not abdicating. And I don't believe that retaining 100 websites shows that we are nannified. The Americans have a much wider ban in terms of the number of sites. Likewise, the Australians too. Nobody calls them a nanny state. And I think if, as a result of putting 100 websites on the ban list, that qualifies us for a nanny state, then there are some who would be super grand nannies. All right? It is, as even the CRC has suggested and we have agreed to, that regulation is a tripartite responsibility. Government, parents, and the public. All right? And so, rather than replacing it or extending it, which may cause people to be complacent that at least it's more comprehensive, we've decided to take on their suggestion to require the ISPs to actively market filters to parents when they sign on or when they renew their subscriptions. And I think that's the way to go. 100 websites, I think almost everybody will know that this is certainly not comprehensive. They need to do and take their own measures to safeguard the children. The schools will play their part as well, of course. But with 100 websites, people know that this is not comprehensive. And yet, I think it is worthwhile to put a marker out there. You see, it is like a prick on the conscience. All right? When you can access pornographic material. I mean, even to ban sites, you can have anonymizers and different ways of doing so. I mean, IDA and MDA has told me so on several occasions. But every time you access materials of this nature, hopefully some of our people, the young, the adults, will remember that actually some of this material belong to categories that are on that banned list. They may not be the specific websites that have been banned, but they are on that category of banned list. Okay? And remember that that material actually is unsavory and unhelpful. So 2 points here. One is it a cost issue? And two is, how do we monitor to make sure that the ISPs are in fact effectively complying with this? I think CRC did a survey on this, and for those who are not aware of the filter, of course they are not aware of the cost and the cost considerations. For those who are aware of the filter, less than 10% cited cost as an issue as to why they did not take it up. In fact, the majority mentioned that they have other measures in place within the family to sort of minimize the occurrences of children accessing such material. Okay, so cost was not an issue, and I think the cost, if I'm not wrong, ranges from about $2.50 a month to maybe about $5. All right, so that's really the amount of money that we're talking about. And is that too much for the protection of our young, for people who really want to do so and want to subscribe to it? A second is that, MDA will actually have to be quite active, both in terms of gathering feedback from consumers as well as actually checking on the ISPs themselves to make sure that they are complying. So you have a range of measures, mystery shoppers, and so on, and we intend to make sure that they do market it. The difficulty is how to make it simple enough and yet sufficiently effective. Okay, you can't just say, do I want filter or do I not want filter? Because I think it's got to be slightly, finer in terms of resolution, because some will say, yes, I want filter for pornographic material, racial, religious, violent sites, and so on, but, I don't want the filter to prevent me from accessing results of 4D or Toto or something like that. So I think the filters do need to be slightly more sophisticated and yet not so challenging and difficult that it really takes you half an hour to decide